Hi guys, this is Ellie with your mid-month August 2017 forecast. Please do watch your sun, your moon and your rising videos for the most specific free forecast by me. Also, your monthly videos are up. Watch your sun, your moon and rising. Now we have just had an eclipse in Aquarius Leo, and so that would have brought about some sudden changes in every single person's life, specifically those mid 15 degrees to 20 degrees of Aquarius. So those sudden changes, would have occurred in whatever area that is of your life. This video, I will specifically look at Mercury retrograde, which is shadow period started 25th of July through to 19th of September. But this mid part of the month of August, it will be stationary and then moving forward. So there will be the elements of whether you've made a mistake or somebody else has made a mistake, or there has been a shutdown of communication or a blow up of communication, or being led astray, or having been untruths, being deceived, or you deceiving others, or having to go back on something. The information now is being revealed, and there's a change there, there's a discrepancy there, there's coming clean or fixing up mistakes and those things, especially looking at your laptops, your phones, any travel that you're making sure that there's no mistakes there. You will find that there are mistakes during this Mercury retrograde period for you. So let's start with Aries. Aries, Mercury retrograde is happening in your 6th house. So this is going back on your word or their word, or coming clean with the details to do with your work or with your health after the sudden development that happened with the eclipse. So this is details becoming clear to do with your work and your health and moving forward. This is the 6th house as well. So for some of you, that ending, there has been an element of ending, and for some of you that's to do with guilt or shame. Some of you are leaving your job, you got caught out on a lie, or that you found that you'd been misled to do with what your work was going to look like, or your health. And there is some hard work. You are leaving that behind. You are leaving the negative behind. You are leaving that cycle behind, and you're moving forward. And it is going to be hard work because there's no motor on this boat. So Aries, your miscommunication, you've deceived someone's deceived you in that area of your life, your work, your health, your routine, your schedule. And so this week, around about the 15th of August, for the next 2 weeks, those details will have to come clear. Mercury is forcing that situation. You're also dealing with, the sun is dealing with your true love, your children, your zest of life as well. And at the same time as this fixing of areas for Mercury. So not getting the right documents, fixing documents, the dates being changed, things being pushed back, things being pushed forward to do with your work or your health. Maybe someone specifically lied to you or specifically set out to deceive you or they, and those details were becoming clear. Maybe you got a job and the job wasn't what you thought it was going to be, what it was sold to you to be. Maybe your health, you got a wrong information, and this information now is coming to light. Maybe you didn't give all the details to your health provider, and now those details something's coming to a head and a mistake, and that there is a chance to fix that. So now we're going on to Taurus. Yours is in the 5th house of dating or with children, being misled, being lied to, not having the right information. Those details will be fixed. Now you've got the major arcana card of Libra. This is the Justice card. Major change, major turning point. So this is a ruling going in your favor to do with, custody, to do with children or dating, because it's the 5th house that Mercury is stationary, and where the information was wrong or has been deceived, or renegotiating those terms, fixing those details, perhaps having the wrong end of the stick on what you entered into to do with dating or with children. Going over what is expected in those areas, children or dating. Not hearing the right thing mishearing, miscommunication, lost texts, all of those different areas for you. Now, you're also dealing with the fourth house, so your home. The sun is in your home area, and so there's a ruling going in your favor. There's a yes there. Now, you do have the benefic Jupiter sitting there as well, along with this eclipse, giving that beautiful trine, that beautiful energy as well. So there will be some developments there. So it could be both of them together, to do with your dating and your children, to do with your home. But there's reform, there's details coming to light, mistakes fixed, mistakes coming out into the open. So if you're on the end of, pulling the wool over someone's eyes, or someone's done that to you, that information will be there to fix that and to be able to move forward. So now we're going on to Gemini. Gemini, the Mercury going stationary is in your fourth house. So with family members, parents, specifically, your father or mother. Ooh, you've got the King of Swords, so this is a fresh air breathed into that what you thought was gone. This is reconciliation. So maybe there was a miscommunication and an argument to do with siblings, families, the home, the landlord, the people that live in the home, and so whether someone's personally tried to set out to deceive, they will be caught out. This week, the information to do with the home will be redone, renegotiated, relooked at. The details will be there. So if you had, if someone had the wrong end of the conversation, the wrong end of the stick, the wrong end of the argument to do with your home, or in communication, or power, even power struggles, that is coming up this week to be relooked at and to get that reassessed, so that the movement can now go forward, so that reconciliation can happen. There's also two messages coming for you this week, Gemini, in regards to your home and your power and your communication. So two messages. So if you thought something was dead gone, this is a ruling as well. So a landlord, a bank, the head of the household, a parent who's in charge, there is fresh air breathed into that, and whatever those mistakes were or can be this week, make sure that you're not being deluded. Make sure that you're not being someone's not trying to deceive you. Make sure that the details are specific, because there can be mistakes this week. Now we're going on to Cancer. Cancer, your Mercury is going retrograde and stationary in the place of communication. So communication difficulties, sore throats, hearing difficulties, microphone issues, phone issues, your phone broken, dropped in water, because there's Neptune around this, so water accidents to do with that, and mistakes. So maybe, don't enter into any contracts this week to do with, the internet, phone, or anything to buy this week to do with communication, because you might be misled, you might be lied to when you sign up, and then you realize in 2 weeks' time, oh, hang on, it was way more than what they said it was. Anything to do with websites, publicity, broadcasting, any creative projects, make sure you're looking at those details, making sure that you're not being sold or spending money on something that is grossly misrepresented to you. Now, you're also looking at self-worth and money and partnerships as well. The sun is shining on that area. So make sure that there is no delusion, that there's no illusion that you're not signing up for or collaborating with or getting less than what you thought. So, the idea that there are going to be mistakes, communication issues. Maybe you signed up for something and you thought that it started straight away, and you find out, well, it's no use to me because it won't get here on time for my creative launch. It won't, the travel details. I signed up for this really cheap airfare, and then I realized, oh, it's not going to cover the time I need to travel. My website, I paid for a certain service, and then I find out that what I've signed up for will not cover the kind of advertising that I want, those kind of areas. So, your communication is going to be, there will be some mistakes. There will be, people trying to deceive you or you trying to deceive them in communication, power struggles, mistakes with any sort of communication, your phone, your laptop, your website, publicity, blogs, even power issues, people lying to you that they're in charge or trying to manipulate to get to force the issue, to to gain control. Also, for some of you, look at your, make sure that no one's trying to steal your ideas, or that you've got ownership over those ideas. That may come into play as well. So now we're going on to Leo, where you're specifically retrograding in stationary in the value system. So, where you're putting your money, what do you value? Where is that value going to come up? Where there might be mistakes, you might be misled, you might be putting money into something, valuables, and be deceived out of those, or to protect those valuables, signing up for something. Partnerships. Maybe there's miscommunications on what you think the criteria for this relationship or this partnership is. Knowing what you're signing up for, what is expected, what the fine print is, what is valuable to you, making sure that there's no mistakes there. Now, your sun is sitting in your first house, where, your title, how the world sees you, what you look like, those kinds of things. So making sure you've got 2 cards falling out. Again, this is the place of value. So being a miser to make sure that your valuables, there's some miscommunication, secrets revealed, someone not hearing it right, not saying it right, not communicating what is valuable to you in partnerships, or what's valuable to you, or in your own self-worth. This card is saying to protect that, to hold your valuables dear to you, to avoid this miscommunication, this accident, this what's being sold to you. Be careful you don't lose something very valuable to you. This is also about being grounded about what's valuable to you. And to put money into those areas, and making sure that what you're signing up for, you are going to get. So if you're putting money into your house, or if you're signing a contract with someone about your valuables, so you're making sure that they are going to deliver what you think that you're paying for. Now, this is actually a win, a refund, to do with industry, to do with family, to do with inheritances, all of those areas as well. So you might be coming into a leadership role with the sun in that area of your life, and making sure that you're not getting a promotion where you're doing more work but not getting any money. So being careful that you're not being misrepresented, that you are not being conned into what you think is a win, but it's actually not when you look at the fine print, to make sure that what is more valuable to you is not being misrepresented. Representation to your valuables, to you, keep that valuables strong to your heart. Don't let anyone sell you out or sell yourself out, because your value is on display this week. So, any kind of miscommunication there, when it goes stationary, there can be blow-ups, there can be arguments to do. And with partnerships, with banks, signing up and being told it's going to be this, and then when you actually look at the paperwork, it sounded good, but then the percentage is actually different, so you're paying more in the long run. To do with partnerships, to do with love, it sounds really great, and then you hear, hang on a minute, they might have deceived me a little bit there, because I thought when that could be taken either way. And I took it in the most positive way because that's what it sounded like to me. But now that I'm looking at this, hang on, I'm seeing these things and it may not be what I thought it was after all. So really, and your personal self-worth, how you love yourself, make sure that you're not deluding yourself and keeping that strong, and feeling silly or foolish afterwards because you feel like you've been conned or lied to or misrepresentation. There. So now we're going on to Virgo. Virgo, you are looking at miscommunication and what you're... So be careful with in your first house. So be careful with what you're being sold to do with what you look like. So if you're getting your hair done, make sure that there's no miscommunication. You want this color, this cut, make sure you discuss it twice. Anything to do with your teeth, your face, Botox or, operations, what you look like, make sure that there's no mistakes there. If you're signing up for a gym or if you're signing up for a new role, a new job, all of those different things, and making sure that you are not being misrepresented there, or that you're not being sold what you think you're being sold, and then once you've put the money into it or signed up for it, that there's no hidden charges, or oh, I thought you said that you wanted this and it's too late because it's done. So, you know, those are where the mistakes are going to be made for you. Virgo, you're also, your intuition is very strong this month, and you might be second guessing your intuition. Don't this month. Your intuition's right. So one thing to be clear, Virgo, your intuition is clear this month, especially in the middle of the month. Don't listen to the Mercury. You know, you might be swayed. You know, you know, 3 weeks later you're back and going, I'm not that silly. I have never been conned. I've never signed up for something or been, you know, paid for more than what I thought. But I don't know what happened. I did. I signed up for it, and, you know, I wasted my money. It wasn't what I thought. It wasn't what I expected. It's the first time this has happened for me. So if you're doing anything to do with your appearance, make sure that you're very, very clear about what it is that you want, and discuss it twice. Make sure you're both on the same page before anything is done. And, you know, also the 12th house is about secrets. So, you know, what's coming to light? What did you omit? What did they omit? You know, what hasn't been said? You know, are they qualified? You know, maybe they are technically that, but maybe there's more to that story. So making sure what you're signing up for, Virgo. Now we're going on to Libra. Libra, there's going to be miscommunications and secrets being revealed. If you are the one that's been omitting or hiding things, those things will come up to the surface to be renegotiated. Those things will be coming to light. Also, anything to do with legalities, to do with things from the past, institutions, any of those things. You have the Knight of Swords in reverse. So this is about ignoring an issue to do with love. This is about ignoring the signs. So again, this is the miscommunication to do with Mercury retrograde. Ignoring the opportunities, going blind, refusing to see. So yeah, those what you've kept hidden will be brought out to light. And anything to do with institutions, the psyche may be coming up, where you are, you know, seeing someone for that and making sure that you are signing up for what you think you're getting, making sure that the fine print's clear, making sure that someone's not getting the wrong end of the stick, so they hear a secret or hear your secret and they think it means more than what it actually is. Your sun is sitting in your 11th house of greatest hopes and dreams and groups and communications. So you will have that support there. You will have that asking and what you'll receive, the ending of any deadlines, especially anything to do with anything that's being left behind. If there has been an ending and, you know, the details weren't clear, those secrets will be revealed. And if you're the one that's kept those secrets, they will be revealed during the next 2 to 3 weeks. So now we're going on to Scorpio. There is miscommunications, details becoming clear about any groups and associations, and some legalities to do with that. What you signed up for, so maybe you're on a group lotto ticket, making sure that the person that's putting it in is on the up and up, you know, signing up for a group and thinking it's one thing and then finding out it's another. Your commitment to the group, you know, where's that miscommunication? Where does it need to be renegotiated? Because stationary, the Mercury, the communication is stationary. So it's going to come to a halt before it moves forward. So these things are going to come out where there has been, you know, you've been deceived, you've omitted, or someone has to you. The details aren't clear. What you thought the group was, you might decide it's not for you, or you thought it wasn't going to be for you, but you find it is. Now the sun is sitting in your 10th house of your highest achievements, as well as your highest communication, feeling the best of yourself, your dreams coming true. So, you know, what support groups have you signed up with to help with that, and were you misled? Maybe it's just not for you. Maybe you'll find a better group because of this outcome, all of those things. So now we're moving on to Sagittarius. There's going to be details come to light about your work, your bosses, higher education, those things coming to light. If you omitted any details to do with your career, those will be coming out to light. If your work, you know, didn't reveal all of the information to do with your title, your role, your job. That will become clear. Any blowouts, any mistakes, any miscommunication to do with your role, your boss, any secrets to do with your boss might be coming out. So, the flow of communication, the flow of productivity, slowing down and stalling and not quite sure where, is someone pretending that they have all the qualifications for this job to get the role, the leader is not qualified or isn't telling you everything, that element of what hasn't been said, what will be said, where has someone not heard it correctly, or someone's purposely omitted the end of those details to keep things all sweet. Now, the sun is in the 9th house of expansion, so maybe you thought that you got a promotion and then you find, oh, hang on a minute, I didn't actually get a promotion, I just got more work, but everyone's congratulating me. Or you've been told you were going to get a promotion, and then you find the details is that it won't be straight away. It could be in a year's time, or it could be in 6 months' time, or it could be in 3 months' time. Those kinds of things, where you thought it was going to be one thing, and then you find out the smaller details, the fine print is not what you thought. So to avoid that, making sure that you're both on the same page, making sure that you're pedantic with the details, making sure you know what is expected of you and what you're prepared to do before you say yes, to do with your career, and where there's communication, there's power struggle to do with leadership, also to do with competition. Maybe you'll find out this week or the next 2 weeks that somebody else is craving your position. It's a secret. You didn't know that they put their name in for the same role, or that, they've been stealing your work, or that they've been monitoring your work so they can get ahead. Where's this deception? Where's this miscommunication? Where's that power struggles? Where's the competition and the secret being revealed, being known? The communication is known, to do with competition, to do with your boss, to do with your role. Be careful of what you're being told, making sure you're hearing it correctly, not what you want to hear, but what you need to hear. And the same with you to them, making sure you're honest with your boss, not omitting to your boss, making sure that you're clear about expectations of what your role is, all of those different things. Now, you've got the Page of Wands, which is creative outlet, creative title. This is feather in your cap, so you're feeling very, very happy and strong about that, especially on how you're expanding online and overseas as well. Now, there's a 3 on this, so there's been 1, and then there's been a small break, and now there's, like a dual. So, if you have been offered a promotion, or you've been promised a promotion based on results, based on numbers, making sure that carrot's not going to be continually pulled away, so it's certain, it's in writing, it's definite. Because, someone could always say, oh, once you've got 50 this, we will, up your price, or, give you another role, and then you do the 50, and then they say, oh no, I said 50 just for that, and so then so making sure that those details and expectations are clear, Sagittarius. So now we're going on to Capricorn. You are having miscommunication in legalities, any deadly serious contracts to do with foreign documents, visas, going to different countries, making sure that you're not missing out on time limits, if it's to do with getting the visa in on time, if you've been promised that it would be easy, the communication lost in translation, lost in the process, getting the date wrong. I once turned up to a hospital for a hospital appointment a week early. I've never made that mistake, but for whatever reason, my eyes saw that date, that time be there, and I turned up and it was the wrong date. So, when do you have to be there? When does that paperwork have to be in? What is the requirements? Making sure you're not being lied or fooled. Someone says to you, oh, you give me a couple of grand and I'll make sure that you get your green card, or I'll make sure that you get your visa. You could be miscommunication. You could be deceived. Don't deceive yourself, because those secrets will be revealed. Also, looking at those legalities to do with foreign investment, to do with higher education, to do with higher study, to do with higher learning and higher religion, making sure you're not, for some, this could be, joining a religious group and finding out, halfway through the first or second session or meeting that it's more of a cult, or that it's not quite what you thought it was, or, signing up for a program to do with study. And then you do you've paid your money and you start the process, and then you find out, hang on a minute, this is not what they told me that my study was going to be about. And I've paid all this money. I've, cleared my schedule to do it. Where's that miscommunication? Where did I not hear that correctly? Where did they lie to me or omit to me or fooled me to do with, education, religion, foreign documents, foreign agencies, foreign market, foreign countries, travel. Maybe the deal sounds really good, all expenses paid trip, $4,900, and you don't look at the fine print, and then when you get there you realize, oh no, it doesn't include food, doesn't include this, doesn't include that, doesn't include travel, doesn't include GST. So that's where the mistakes will be made for you, Capricorn. So now we're going on to Aquarius. This is about having those discussions with the other in your life, the other people, resources, with your partner, where there is going to be a discussion, a renegotiation on resources and input, and who's doing what and where. This is also dealing with government agencies or places where you get resources. Interesting, you've got the 7 and the 8 card. This card here is about feeling trapped and unable to see your way out. You're unable to move yourself out of your hands are trapped behind your back, to do with a thought-piercing situation that blocks you from your home or your place of business. And we are dealing with miscommunications to do with the 8th house, which is your partner, your partner's resources or other resources coming to you. And you do feel trapped. You do feel stuck. So, where did you hear it wrong, or what was promised to you? Or, have you omitted something to those government agencies, and now you're feeling stuck. Now you're feeling trapped. Now you're feeling like you don't know what the outcome's going to be. With a partner, you've had this discussion about, who's going to pay what, who's going to put what resources in, who's going to do what detail, around the house. And then, that's not what you said. That's not what we agreed on. So this is recommunicating, renegotiating to do with that. Also with the government agencies, there might be, you have to re-sign for something else. Things have come to an end. Or, Mercury retrograde being stationary, moving direct, making sure that they don't lose your paperwork, making sure that you sign the paperwork correctly, that you don't mislead or they don't mislead you, you don't make mistakes. Check everything twice, cut once. That's the way to do it. You've just got to check everything twice before you put it in for finality. Anything to do with government agencies, deadly serious agreements. So, if you're booking a wedding date, making sure that it is the date you want, that there is no out clause for the place that you're signing, that they haven't double booked, births, deaths, marriages, deadly serious agreements. Where is there an out clause? Where is there miscommunication? Where can there be mistakes made? Where is there that slowdown in communication to do with that area? Because you are feeling stuck. Some of you, the thinking's too much, and you're like, well, it's out of my hands now. I mean, what can I do? I'm stuck in this situation, especially if you're relying on money from government, and so you don't know what the outcome is yet because there's been a review. Or to do with your taxes, or to do with any kind of payment, or to any kind of refund, or sponsorship or money from other people. The other card you got was the 7, which is long-term commitment to do with other. Like I said in the beginning, you and your partner discussing, miscommunicating, power struggles to do with the values and the resources in the home, being on the same page. For some of you, this is about keeping the debtors at bay, working on the debt, clearing the debt, working on an arrangement, making sure you're not being misled. So if you're trying to consolidate all of your money and just go with one company, making sure that they're not lying to you about the percentage you have to pay back, that there's no hidden fees, those kinds of things. All right. So now we're going to Pisces. Yours is in the 7th house of long-term commitments and love. So any miscommunications on what you value in a relationship, what your future looks like, if there is an ending due to the eclipse, there's something about that miscommunication is going to come out in the next 2 weeks, where they might have rosied up what they wanted, or made things to look a lot more attractive than what they wanted, or that what your end game is the same. Now, this is not just with love, this is with long term. So, contracts to do, with mortgages or your job as well, making sure that your long-term goals are the same, that there's no blow up to do with, I want to eventually get married, I eventually want to have children, and then you're with this person and then they say, I never said that because I don't want to ever have children, and you're like, whoa, I've wasted 5 years of my life with you. So where are you being deluded? Are they just saying things, whispering sweet nothings in your ear, to manipulate to get what they want? Are you omitting what you want or what you want to say to keep the peace, to get, are you omitting or lying, or they to you, to keep this relationship going because you're getting some sort of benefit from this? Anything that's long term, making sure the end game's the same, making sure you're on the same page, making sure that you both want the same thing, that there's no power struggles, that no one's lying or promising what they can't deliver. Those kinds of things there, and your Sun is sitting in your 6th house of your day-to-day, your routine, your work and your health, Pisces. And so for some of you, there could be some poor health this week. And so that is making you feel stuck, making you feel tired, making you feel drained, heart pain, chest pain, blood pressure, those kinds of things. That's where the sun is shining, in your 6th house of your health and your work and what your day looks like. And then there's going to be miscommunications to do with your 7th house. It's where Mercury's stationary. So, it could be, overlapping, the tensions to do with home coming into the work, being so tired from work or health issues, and it's creating a bit of I'm not listening, I'm not concentrating directly on what you're saying because I'm distracted. So making sure that you know exactly what you're hearing, making sure that there isn't a chance that you're being misled, or that someone's omitting the details, or promising more than they can deliver, or promising this honeymoon idea of this fairy tale happy ever after, when really they just want the happy 3 months and then they're off, that kind of thing. So what you're signing up for the long term, making sure that you will be happy for the long term, and not that they're just trying to keep things sweet and beautiful for to get what they want, and then you sign up for it and say, yeah, let's do this for the long term, and then you find out, oh no, it's not what I just like I said, marriage and kids, and then they turn around and say, oh no, I don't want to get married, and you're like, but when we first met, that's what you said. And we were in agreement on that, because I wouldn't have wasted my time with you, because I don't do casual. So, that element there where, make sure you're listening clearly, that you're voicing yourself clearly, that you're eloquent in your speech, that you're voicing the exact terms and conditions of what you're signing up for long term. And that, if you are unwell, or if you are, under the pump at work, that you will set aside a specific time where you're giving your full attention to these negotiations. Because Mercury retrograde always brings things back from the past. For some of you, like I said in the weekly, for some of you, a small select few of you, there could have been the idea that we're splitting for good and that we're getting a divorce, and then all of a sudden, out of the blue, abrupt from this eclipse, Aquarius brings sudden developments. So for a small select few of you, you might be deciding we're going to put our divorce on hold. But if you're going to do that, make sure that you're not make sure it's not because they want a benefit out of you, but because they're being upfront and honest about what they want. So I hope that this was a really informative mid-month reading, and that by hearing these up front first, being forewarned is forearmed. And so that there's going to be the element of being lied to, of being sold something, that is not what it says it is. That that you could very possibly be hearing something wrong because that's what you want to hear. Or that if you're the one omitting, if you're the one keeping these secrets, if you're not telling the truth, that by telling you in advance, there will be consequences for those actions. And they will come to light over the next 3 weeks. So for you to get these readings now and to know where that communication, that's why I specifically sat with Mercury stationary and going retrograde, because that's where the element of where things can go wrong. And so if you watch this now, check your sun, your moon and rising, go back. You can avoid those mistakes and avoid that. Some of it, if it's financial, you could miss out on thousands of dollars just because you signed the contract and you were misled or you didn't read it and the fine print was there. So you could be wasting heaps of money signing up for a new connection for your internet or a new website or a new mortgage or a new job. And so you change your life to get this, and then you find out, oh no, those details were wrong. I heard it correctly, or they lied to me. They just wanted me to do it. And, now I find out that it wasn't what it was meant to be. It's not what it was sold to me as. It's not what I heard. It's not what they meant. It's not because then communication's wrong. And anything that you think you're getting a big special deal or you're saving lots of money to do with travel or a phone or a new car, do not buy a new car for the next 3 weeks. It will be recalled. There'll be engine issues. There'll be even airbag issues for some of them, electric issues, there's a huge element of electrical storms and earthquakes and things like that. So anything to do with anything electrical, you could have electrical difficulties, short out wires, fires, those kinds of things. So before you sign up for any of those things, before you agree to anything, before you sit down to any discussion at all, it doesn't matter what sign you are, make sure that you are aware that there is the element of hearing it wrong, there being a blowout, there's going to be, mistakes made. And so if you're aware of that, then you can really super focus your hearing and just ask the questions. So when you say, I'm getting for example, your job, when you say I'm getting a promotion, what exactly does that entail? And then get it in writing, and then check that writing, and then make sure it's completely right, and then you sign it and then they sign. That way you don't have any big surprises, So be kind to you and those you love. I shall see you next month.